This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
Pacific Island countries' delegates arrived for meeting. 14 students charged. And first provincial health authority to operate oxygen plant.
A very good evening. This is National EMTV News. I'm Natasha Roy. Thank you for joining us. Delegates from the Pacific Island countries started arriving yesterday for the 3-day Pacific Education Ministers meeting, which is set to kick off in Port Moresby tomorrow.
Following the success of the first Pacific Education Ministers meeting held in New Zealand in 2023, the setting in Port Moresby under the theme Transforming Education for Better Pacific. The event will also be co-hosted by the University of South Pacific. Papua New Guinea's Minister for Education, Lucas Dekana, said the region needs to shift its focus on global education changes and is looking forward to meet with its Pacific counterparts.
Particularly in embracing the global educational changes. The inaugural CPAM in 2023 was hosted in Auckland, New Zealand. The reframing of this ministerial forum from Pacific Education Ministers meeting to the Conference on Pacific Education Ministers reflects the transition of hosting of the meeting from the Pacific Islands Forum Secretariat to the University of South Pacific, USP, where the Pacific Regional Education Framework Facilitation Unit is hosted. CPAM also reflects a more active and formal engagement with civil society organizations who are important stakeholders in education development in the Pacific.
Vice Chancellor for University of South Pacific, who is based in Fiji, Professor Paul Aluwalia, said the 2025 CPAM will not only shape the future of the education in the region, but also strengthen the bonds between island nations and forge a path towards a more inclusive and dynamic educational landscape.
No one country can be on top of all the minutiae of what happens within an educational framework. And so this is to create those regional goods which can be shared, as Minister said, there will be many experts who will be coming to speak and they will be helping us think through the rather difficult challenges that we face. And some of the challenges are obvious. It's the disparity of size of our island nations. You know, we have Papua New Guinea on the one hand, but we have Niue or Tokelau on the other hand, which are rather small countries. And then, you know, we have some challenges with how different cultural challenges with how people.
Mr. Aluwalia said the meeting aims to address critical issues such as access, equity and quality, ensuring that our education systems are resilient and inclusive. Pakatambua, National EMTV News.
The National Parliament passed 4 important bills during its recent meet last week, one of them being the most debated bill to officially declare Papua New Guinea a Christian nation.
The bills passed include changes to the constitution to declare Papua New Guinea a Christian country, the creation of a new authority to regulate the petroleum industry, an update to the Oil and Gas Act for 2025, and the return of an 18-month grace period after a failed vote of no confidence. One of the most debated bills was the amendment to officially declare PNG a Christian nation. Parliament strongly supported it, with 80 members voting in favour and only 4 against. While this change recognizes Christianity as the country's foundation, it does not take away the right to religious freedom under Section 45 of the Constitution. This means people of other religions can still practice their faith freely. Another major change was the approval of laws to set up a new authority to oversee PNG's petroleum sector. Parliament passed this bill with 80 votes in favor and none against. They also approved the Oil and Gas Amendment Bill 2025 through a voice vote. Parliament also voted 81-4 in favor of bringing back the 18-month grace period after a failed vote of no confidence. This amendment needed at least 79 votes to pass. It ensures that if a Prime Minister survives a no confidence vote, they cannot be challenged again for 18 months. This changes reverses a decision made last year to remove the grace period. Prime Minister James Marape said the move would help create political stability by reducing frequent leadership challenges and allowing the government to focus on running the country. Louis Maingu, National EMTV News.
A grave incident unfolded on November 7, 2024 at Yarawari Secondary School in
The grave incident unfolded on November 7, 2024 at Yarawari Secondary School in Sogeri Central Province, resulting in the death of 17-year-old grade 9 student William Mark Garrow. On November 9, 2024, Central confirmed the apprehension of 40 male students in connection with Garrow's death. The group comprised of 25 grade 9 students and 15 grade 11 students. Following extensive investigations, 14 of the 40 accused students were formally charged under the Criminal Code Act. The charges were filed today, March 17, 2025, at the Waigani Committal Court in Port Moresby. The court proceedings are ongoing and further details will be disclosed as the legal process advances. The tragic loss of William Garrow has profoundly affected his family and the broader community. The police continues to investigate the circumstances surrounding this incident, emphasizing the commitment to justice and the safety of all students.
Owners and the travelling public from Yanguru Sausia district staged a peaceful convoy protest in Wewak last week Friday, demanding stronger action against rising petty crimes.
Protests saw a massive convoy of PMV trucks and buses all headed towards Wewak town and then to the Sepik Provincial Assembly. The demonstration was sparked by an attempted armed robbery in the heart of Wewak last Tuesday, where a cocoa farmer was targeted. In response, ward councillors from Yanguru Sausia, along with frustrated farmers, gathered to push for stronger measures to curb crime. West Yanguru local level government president Emmanuel Ganai expressed that farmers cannot continue to come to Wewak town to do business in fear of being robbed every time.
You know, me no calling name blue one man Peter Mark John na me planim na me kandalo town number you dead Peter Mark John tani beg na still me no this line me come na me bla we are enough of it, we had enough of it. This time but me basta box the police na army if it means we evade we'll use physical strength to.
The group has also called on the Provincial Executive Council to introduce a selective eviction policy aimed at removing troublemakers from Wewak Urban and preventing further criminal activities. In response, Sepik's Deputy Provincial Member David Kausik commended the people of Yanguru Sausia District for the peaceful convoy protest conducted.
This protest movement today, you are representing 312, 38, 39, 35, 24, 21. I and I commend you and I support you guys. This must be the last one.
Kausik admitted that law and order issues in the province has been ongoing and the provincial government and law enforcers will take up the challenge to effectively address this. Additionally, the Provincial Police Commander, Superintendent Christopher Tamari, said everyone must work together to address these for a better and safer Wewak.
Policing inside the country, inside the Sepik, and business lo imiogra. I'm straight, huh? Yes. Please, help me to help you. Help police to help you for a better living, better society. Imiogra say finish what happened inside lab. It's not only here in Sepik, it's everywhere.
The Sepik Bilum Basket Show has officially been registered under the Papua New Guinea National Cultural Commission. The show, that celebrates the art of bilum weaving, is now set to be an annual event.
In a small ceremony last week, show leader Rachel Maru received the official certificate from a National Cultural Commission representative at the Sepik Center of Hope in Wewak, Sepik Province. Rachel Maru said this is a huge milestone for them. The registration means Sepik's cultural heritage is being recognized and they can now promote their bilum basket on a bigger platform. Among those in attendance for the small but significant event was the Sepik Deputy Provincial Member David Kausik, along with other provincial officials. The show will now be held annually on October 14, aligning with Pinktober, a month dedicated to raising awareness about breast cancer and the vital importance of early detection.
The Western Highlands Provincial Health Authority has become the first provincial health authority in the country to operate a pressure swing absorption oxygen plant. This facility will enable oxygen to be produced safely on site at the medical quality standards with higher production capacity.
The Western Highlands Provincial Health Authority has achieved its milestone to be the first PHA in the country to operate a pressure swing absorption oxygen plant in Mount Hagen. This oxygen plant addresses the growing needs of patients requiring oxygen in the hospital. The achievement was officiated and commissioned by the Acting Deputy Secretary of National Health Standards and Compliance, Dr. Dora Lenturut, coupled with other funding partners from a different organization in Mount Hagen. Dr. Lenturut commended the Maraperoso government for recognizing the importance of making this life-saving health commodity readily available to patients at the point of care that is vital for optimal patients' outcome. She expressed a gratitude to the development partners who identified the need and contributed by donating and installing 7 PSA oxygen plants across the country. Dr. Lenturut said Mount Hagen PSA plant is the first of 6 plants in the country to receive regulatory clearance and a manufacturing license. She thanked World Vision PNG, the Global Fund, the National Department of Health's technical team, and the Western Highlands Provincial Health Authority for their tireless effort to make this operation a success. Meanwhile, Sister Janet Yamu highlighted that the daily oxygen usage in Mount Hagen Hospital was approximately 35 cylinders, and the new plant will provide the hospital with an alternative supply of source. Sister Yamu added that with the new oxygen plant on site, Mount Hagen General Hospital is ready to meet future challenges and provide for oxygen needs of the patients. Edward Luke, National EMTV News, Mount Hagen.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Attention all students, parents and schools. The Smart Start School promotion is back for 2025. Your school could win a school grant worth 44,000 kina. Here's how. Collect 3 empty packets of Smart Start breakfast biscuits, write your name, number and school on an envelope, put the empty packets inside and drop them into an entry box at a registered school. The school with the highest number of valid entries in each region wins. 1,000 consolation prizes are also up for grabs. Register your school now with Paradise Foods Limited. Smart Start breakfast biscuit, proudly made by Paradise Foods.
Enjoy more talk, more text, and more time online with Telecom More Bundles. Choose from 8 plans ranging from 3 kina with 600 megabytes of data all the way up to 75 kina, loaded with a massive 35 gig. Best of all, each plan comes with an unlimited on-network call minutes plus on-net and off-net talk and text. That's way more time to chat with family and friends. Telecom More Bundles. Top up now.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
At IPI Catering, we understand the intricacies of the environments in which we work, providing innovative, fresh and creative catering solutions. Our experience and commitment is a winning combination, delivering great food anywhere and anytime. IPI Catering, part of the IPI group of companies.
How PNG's foreign relations, how it has evolved since independence, especially with our foreign policy stance of friends to all, enemy to none. Is this foreign policy framework still relevant and applicable in the current context?
Tonight on In Focus, we feature discussions on PNG's foreign relations with other countries.
The Americans and the Australians that they will always have to have an influence in Papua New Guinea because it is it's a buffer zone for them.
That's on tonight.
When life feels broken, when OP's gone, when prayers go unanswered, what do?
Put your faith into action. Put your faith to the test and see what God can do.
Faith isn't just believing, it's moving, trusting, and seeing God work in impossible situations. Faith in Action, 7:30 a.m. Saturday and 8 a.m. Sunday, right here on your number one to watch, MTV.
You're watching National MTV News. Papua New Guinea is set to host the 7th Joint Heads of Pacific Security meeting from March 18 to 20, 2025 in Port Moresby, bringing together security leaders from across the Pacific.
The annual Joint Heads of Pacific Security or JHOPS meeting, established in 2019, serves as a platform for heads of defense, customs, immigration, and police to address regional security challenges through cooperation and information sharing. This year's theme, Align and Collaborate to Advance Our Collective Security, emphasizes maritime awareness, humanitarian response, and transnational crime prevention. Over 200 delegates from 23 Pacific nations are expected to attend, reinforcing the region's commitment to strengthening security efforts. The meeting will also showcase PNG's leadership as it approaches its 50th anniversary of independence. Chief Secretary to Government Ivan Pomaliu highlighted that hosting the meeting is an opportunity for Papua New Guinea to demonstrate its regional leadership and contribute to a more effective and coordinated security response across the Pacific. The conference is expected to produce vital security mechanisms that will enhance regional stability, disaster relief coordination, and law enforcement collaboration. PNG's Department of Prime Minister and National Executive Council is overseeing the event. James Guken, National MTV News.
The people of Buang in Morobe's Bulolo district, after 3 weeks of the back road access on the main Wau-Bulolo National Highway being cut off by landslide, now have regained access.
The Buang back road has been reopened after being closed for the last 3 weeks. The closure was due to heavy rains resulting in several major landslips along a 2-kilometer stretch of the road. The Bulolo Development Authority confirmed that clearance works was delayed to allow excess rainwater to dry up before the contractor would be advised to move in. The contractor currently working on a 4-kilometer stretch along the same road have volunteered staff and machinery to help clear out the debris and allow road access to be restored. Clearance efforts started last week and the road is now cleared for use. For the last 3 weeks, the people of Buang had to travel all the way into Mumeng LLG, then onto the Bulolo National Highway to travel into Leh. Commuters and PMV operators say this route is much longer and costly. It has been confirmed that all PMV trucks from the Klinki PMV Association that are accessing the Buang back road are expected to use the access road beginning this week. Jessica Nui, National MTV News, Leh.
And now we take a look at the NASFAN market report. The kina closed lower at $0.2470 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.2470, $0.3760 Australian dollars, 0.2124 euro, and 35.25 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading lower, coffee closed lower, cocoa closed lower, copper closed lower, palm oil closed unchanged, crude oil is trading higher, and copper. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX 200 is trading higher, and the All Ordinaries is trading higher. National MTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Share the love with Gullah Ice Cream, Gullah Cone Ice Creams, Gullah Stick Ice Creams, and Gullah Classic Tub Ice Creams. Happiness begins with the Gullah range of fun flavors which create taste adventures and excitement with every bite. Treat yourself. Share with a friend while chilling. The whole family will enjoy. Everyone has their favorite. Share the love with Gullah Ice Creams.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
Are you tired of standing in those long lines to get your jackpot tickets? Guess what? You never have to with Telecom USSD jackpot ticket purchase. Simply dial *321#, follow the prompts, and you are set for your jackpot draw. It's as easy as 3, 2, 1. Telecom PNG, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Meet the
bank for everyone, everywhere. As People's Microbank, we were proud to be a bank for the people. Now as National Banking Corporation, we are bringing modern banking to all in Papua New Guinea. With more branches and our friendly staff ready to assist you in more places, we are making money matters simple and fair. So wherever you are, however you say it, say hello better banking. Learn more at nbcpng.com.pg.
Hello, I'm Sam Wykes.
And I'm Tiana Penatani.
And we're excited to let you know that Pacific Sports Show is back in 2025.
Tune in to MTV on Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. as we bring you all the latest sporting action from across the Pacific.
When circumstances
task is to dance second marriage.
are determined to do what they think is right.
Say you only want to sell up a bit of the place. Which bit do you want to sacrifice? Couldn't sell the place out from under you.
Find that sometimes you have to feel a little lost before you can find your way home.
Serious, Claire, what can I do? Getting dressed might be a start.
Matt Rod's daughter, 8 p.m. Tuesday, right here on number one to watch, MTV. Join me on House and Home for all your home and lifestyle improvements.
I'm legal business, Lomino. Okay, boss, me, me.
From Hot Talk Mom, health and fitness, interest stories, gardening tips, out and about, pet care, and many more. Join me every Tuesday, 7 p.m. on your number one to watch, MTV.
You're watching National MTV News. Minister for Defence Dr. Billy Joseph has commenced his visit to all PNG military bases, starting with Igam Barracks over the weekend. He said his intention is to boost morale of officers, as well as hear from them and understand the challenges within the force.
During his visit to Igam Barracks, Minister Joseph discussed with the divisional heads about the need to modernize PNGDF and proposed to expand and rebuild the Joint Forces College into a degree-granting institution to be known as Melanesian Security College or University. It was also proposed that the PNGDF Trade Training School be revived in partnership with a TAFE agency and the National Volunteer Service of PNG to train and upskill young population as part of the PNGDF Reserve Force and deploy them in the workforce through the National Volunteer Service Placement Program. The minister also highlighted the need for increasing the manpower strength of the engineering battalion and to equip them so they are used for nation-building exercises as well as assist in disaster response and recovery efforts. Minister Joseph said PNGDF is a state institution created by Section 188 of the Constitution. He said the past, present and future governments must deliberately invest in PNGDF and not leave it to the bilateral security partners, calling it a matter of national security and national pride. His next visit will be to the western border with Indonesia from Daru to Vanimo. It will open the Tumolbil border post in Yapsi LLG Telefomin, which was completed in 2021 while on this planned trip. Louis Maingu, National MTV News.
Now moving to overseas news. Tropical Cyclone Alfred has delivered a $1.2 billion hit to the country's economy.
The Treasurer is going to deliver a pre-budget speech here in Brisbane tomorrow, and the central focus will be the financial impact of Tropical Cyclone Alfred on this region and on the broader economy ahead of the federal budget, which is due in just over a week's time. As you mentioned, the headline from that speech is likely to be a $1.2 billion hit to GDP, and the Treasurer is also warning the cyclone could knock 0.25 percentage point off quarterly growth. So they are some of the more immediate impacts, Gemma, but he says the total impact of the cyclone is still being assessed. But whatever that total is, he's warning it will have a significant impact on what the budget is able to deliver. Around 44,000 people have so far lodged insurance claims, and the Treasurer says the damage from Tropical Cyclone Alfred could be inflationary. And that's because a lot of businesses and agricultural producers haven't been able to operate as normal. And so when there's limited supply, that can increase prices. The Treasurer also says there's been around 12 million work hours lost during the cyclone, and a lot of that is due to power outages. We heard at one point 450,000 homes and businesses across southeast Queensland and northern New South Wales were without power at one point, and around 200,000 people lost their internet service. So that's had a significant impact on the ability not only to operate during the storm but also in the recovery process. There's likely to be significant drain on government resources in the form of financial support in the coming weeks. There's also been a lot of talk about how do we shore up the system better so that when the next severe system inevitably crosses this part of the world, our telecommunications and power system are better able to stay up, and they're also better able to be restored in the aftermath.
A Labour Party rank and file campaign to scrape a submarine project is intensifying as concerns grow over the future of the US alliance under President Donald Trump.
Well, this is a group called Labour Against War. It's a group of Labour Party members with similar thinking on defence, and they've written to every Labour MP and candidate coming up to the federal election, urging them essentially to get out of the AUKUS pact. Now, this is a deal between Australia, the US and the UK. It'll cost $368 billion and is meant to deliver us some nuclear submarines in the 2050s. But following the decision from the Trump administration last week to put steel and aluminium tariffs on Australia, there are now these calls from within Labor to rethink the AUKUS pact because this group believes that Donald Trump is untrustworthy. Now, the founder of this group, or the current spokesman, is Doug Cameron, the former ALP senator. He has written to MPs. He says that spending billions to underpin the US naval dockyards is beyond reason. He's called Donald Trump belligerent, untrustworthy and dangerous. And he says that if Labor is re-elected for a second term, he wants them to take this opportunity to review whether or not they actually want to continue with AUKUS at all. Now, the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, of course, has been asked about this before. He's incredibly insistent that AUKUS is a good deal for Australia, that there won't be any changes. And he's pointed to comments that the Trump administration has made that seem positive, that there will be a continuation with AUKUS and that it's not at risk. Australia now finds itself in this position where it needs to have some sort of negotiation, however, on what could be a second round of trade tariffs on our beef and our pharmaceutical exports. They'll be applied equally to countries around the world. There is concern, of course, that that does affect Australia's economy. Don Farrell, the Trade Minister, will meet with his US trade representative tomorrow morning and says he's going to need to make some sort of offer that Donald Trump cannot refuse.
The Industrial Relations Commission will begin a 5-day hearing for psychiatrists working in the public health system in New South Wales.
Today marks the first of a 5-day scheduled hearing at the Industrial Relations Commission. Essentially, we're going to see both parties, hopefully at the end of it, come away with a fairly arbitrated deal. However, the stakes are fairly high. Already we've seen hundreds of resignations from the psychiatric system in the public health sector of New South Wales. However, the government was able to defer some of those departures and even bring some who resigned from their ongoing positions back into casual roles to work as visitors visiting medical officers. However, there are at least 50 psychiatrists who have walked away from the public health system altogether. So why have they done this? Well, the union has articulated several issues, largely to deal with staffing across the sector. They say that the system is stretched too much and the burden on working psychiatrists is too great, and that if the government wants to stem the flow of departures, one of the things it needs to do is alter pay and conditions to the tune of a 25% pay increase in a one-off instance before looking at tweaking other conditions within the workplace. They include funding, training and support for specialist psychiatrists. The government says it can't afford a pay increase to that tune, instead saying they can offer a 10.5% increase over a 3-year period, along with another 10% onerous duties allowance they can pay. They've also pointed to the fact that, relatively speaking, psychiatrists have quite high wages in the public sector. They earn anywhere from $180,000 to $250,000 as a base salary, depending on their role and experience. However, the union points out that psychiatrists could earn a lot more money working in the private sector, and in some instances could work equivalent roles in other states in the country as well as territories and earn a higher rate of pay. All of this has led to an impasse where negotiations have broken down, and we're now finding ourselves here at the Industrial Relations Commission. This hearing, set over 5 days, will consider arguments from both parties. But what both parties already do agree on is the impact of the departed psychiatrists is already having an impact on the service delivery. This means people who are presenting with complex health needs and mental health needs specifically, whether it be acute psychosis, schizophrenia or other mental health conditions, are in some instances waiting significant amount of times, even days at a time, to see a qualified specialist at either a mental health ward or an emergency ward. Neither party wants to see that state of play continue, so the hearing over this week will be incredibly important.
National MTV News continues after the break with Chukai Sports. Stay with us.
Banking used to mean long trips, endless queues, and piles of paperwork. But now, BSP's One Talk Wallet means no waits, no forms, no fuss. No BSP account needed. Just dial *131# to access your money wherever, whenever. Send, receive funds, withdraw cash at an ATM without a bank card, pay for school fees, and make top-up purchases safely and securely. BSP's One Talk Wallet. Money made easy.
Welcome to Kokopo Beach Bungalow Resort in the heart of Kokopo. Nestled along the coastline with breathtaking views of the islands and volcanoes, we invite you to share this tropical island paradise with us. For your next business trip, leisure or marine adventure, call Kokopo Beach Bungalow Resort to discuss your escape on 982-8788 or visit us on www.kbb.com.pg. Escape, explore, enjoy.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always Trukai. Trukai, true inspiration through generations.
You get big data and big value with Telecom Good Pillar mobile data plans. From only 3 kina, you get 1 gig for 24 hours. And for only 150 kina, you get 130 gigs over a whopping 30 days. And with loads of Good Pillar data plans to choose from, there's a small, medium or large plan to match your budget. Dial *777# to subscribe. Telecom, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
I'm Martha, and each week on Kai Time, we'll introduce you to local food businesses showcasing their delicious dishes. pasta, the white sauce. Plus, you will discover how to make tasty and affordable meals using ingredients from your local market. Tune in to Kai Time every Wednesday at 7 p.m. right here on your number one to watch, MTV.
True Kai Sports.
Welcome to Chukai Sports. The PNG National Rugby League competition recently hosted its annual general meeting at the Holiday Inn in Port Moresby. The meeting also marked an election year, seeing the incumbent Adrian Chow re-elected unopposed as the PNG NRLC chairman.
Chairman of the 12 franchises showing serve his third term as chairman of the PNG NRLC board. The AGM carried out its normal business, tabling the 2024 annual report and financials. Adrian Chow, chairman of the PNG NRLC, thanked the AGM on his re-election. PNG RFL chairman Sandy Saka acknowledged the importance of the PNG NRLC and the strategic and table leadership of Adrian Chow. Saka said Chow brings experience and expertise to this very important leadership, which is crucial to strengthen the relationship between the 12 pathway clubs and all other areas of the game within the community of Rugby League. The PNG NRLC will host 3 competitions in 2025 alongside the DigiSelect and Mobile Cup on 12th April, with the second year of the Santos Cup on 2nd August and the introduction of the National Youth Competition for Under-19 on 17 May. Louis Mangu, Trukai Sports.
Chukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
True Kai Sports.
They're gold nuggets. There's a flavor for everyone. The best tasting snack. Get a burst of gold nuggets cheese flavor.
Mega wow.
Chicken flavor.
Mega wow.
Cheese onion flavor.
Mega wow.
Barbecue flavor. Mega wow.
When you're on the go, one more. One more.
Get that burst of gold nuggets flavor.
Mega wow.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck. Like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
Enjoy more talk, more text, and more time online with Telecom More Bundles. Choose from 8 plans ranging from 3 kina with 600 megabytes of data all the way up to 75 kina, loaded with a massive 35 gig. Best of all, each plan comes with an unlimited on-network call minutes plus on-net and off-net talk and text. That's way more time to chat with family and friends. Telecom More Bundles. Top up now.
At IPI Catering, we understand the intricacies of the environments in which we work, providing innovative, fresh and creative catering solutions. Our experience and commitment is a winning combination, delivering great food anywhere and anytime. IPI Catering, part of the IPI group of companies.
How PNG's foreign relations, how it has evolved since independence, especially with our foreign policy stance of friends to all, enemy to none. Is this foreign policy framework still relevant and applicable in the current context?
Tonight on In Focus, we feature discussions on PNG's foreign relations with other countries.
the Americans and the Australians that they will always have to have an influence in Papua New Guinea because it is it's a buffer zone for them.
That's on tonight.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henau, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
You're watching Chukai Sports, and now moving to overseas sports. The West Tigers have dominated Parramatta in their Round 2 NRL clash.
The Eels fell flat in their first match since Dylan Brown announced his impending departure and were smashed 32 points to 6. Elsewhere, the Bulldogs had a 16-point win over the Gold Coast Titans, but the victory was soured by knee injuries to both Matt Burton and Viliami Kikau, who were both expected to miss at least a month.
Yeah, it's obviously a pretty weak game. I kind of versed them 2 years ago, and it was a pretty emotional game playing up against all my mates, but this one was a bit more of a normal level. And they're apart.
In AFL, the Gold Coast Suns rounded out the weekend's action with a record-breaking win on the road in Perth.
The Suns thrashed the Eagles by 87 points in their season opener at Perth Stadium. Ben King kicked a career-best 6 goals in what was the biggest winning margin in the club's history.
Melbourne United has secured an away win against the Illawarra Hawks in Game 3 of the Championship Series.
Matthew Dellavedova was outstanding in his side's 83-77 win, almost single-handedly holding off the Hawks' attempt at a late comeback. It means United will be playing for the title at home on Wednesday night in Melbourne.
We knew it was going to be tough. We had to control the tempo and just dig in. We weren't happy with how many O boards and loose balls we gave up last game, and I think everyone came out with the right intent.
And that ends Chukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Chukai Sports. Chukai Sports.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henau, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
You get big data and big value with Telecom Good Pillar mobile data plans. From only 3 kina, you get 1 gig for 24 hours. And for only 150 kina, you get 130 gigs over a whopping 30 days. And with loads of Good Pillar data,
Attention all students, parents and schools. The Smart Start School Promotion is back for 2025. Your school could win a school grant worth 44,000 kina. Here's how. Collect 3 empty packets of Smart Start breakfast biscuits, write your name, number and school on an envelope, put the empty packets inside and drop them into an entry box at a registered school. The school with the highest number of valid entries in each region wins. 1,000 consolation prizes are also up for grabs. Register your school now with Paradise Foods Limited. Smart Start breakfast biscuit, proudly made by Paradise Foods.
Welcome to Kokopo Beach Bungalow Resort in the heart of Kokopo. Nestled along the coastline with breathtaking views of the islands and volcanoes, we invite you to share this tropical island paradise with us. For your next business trip, leisure or marine adventure, Call Kokopo Beach Bungalow Resort to discuss your escape on 982-8788 or visit us on www.kbb.com.pg. Escape, explore, enjoy.
Join me every Thursday night as Sports Scene brings to you all the local and international sporting updates. Revisiting our legendary athletes.
Hi, this is David.
Highlighting our local sports developments across the nation.
All eyes on Auckland. Now an NRL team based here.
To create a pathway.
And our talented rising stars.
Hi, my name's Gemma Schnobel and you're watching.
All the younger ones should follow.
Sports Scene, Thursday nights at 7 p.m. only on your number one to watch, MTV.
Dreaming for more than the life we've known. There is more to what the future holds. You me holy man, no walk one time. Oh, 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 oh. We dare to believe in incredible things. Oh, 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 oh. With money plus we're ready to go.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
And now looking at the weather report for the next 24 hours. In the southern region, Port Moresby City, partly cloudy with chances of few showers and thunderstorms. Daru, partly cloudy with chances of afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Kerema, mostly fine to partly cloudy with chances of brief showers. Alotau, cloudy with rain showers and thunderstorms. And Popondetta, partly cloudy with few rain showers and possible thunderstorms. In the Momase region, Ley City, partly cloudy with few evening showers and possible thunderstorms. Medang, mostly fine to partly cloudy with chances of brief showers. Wewak, becoming cloudy with few rain showers with possible thunderstorms. And Vanimo, cloudy periods with some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, mostly fine to partly cloudy with chances of brief evening showers. KVN, mostly fine to partly cloudy. Kokopo and Rabaul, mostly fine with chances of a very light afternoon showers. Kimbe, partly cloudy with possible few showers. And Buka, mostly fine to partly cloudy with chances of light showers. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen City, partly cloudy with possible few showers. Goroka, Bans and Kundiawa, mostly cloudy with afternoon rain showers and thunderstorms. And Mendi, Tari and Wabek, mostly cloudy with
The weather update was proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
Before we go, a ceasefire agreement between two conflicting tribes in Upper Mendi in the Southern Highlands province was held recently. The ceremony marks peace and restoration for Tunjudup and Pereka tribes.
A fight that broke out over a rugby league match in early February turned ugly and escalated into a tribal clash between the Tunjudup and Pereka tribes. The fighting involved firearms and lasted for 3 days. Destruction and burning down of properties, as well as casualties, were recorded following the fight. Former Provincial Police Commander Mark Yangen, who is also the leader of Pereka tribe, said during the ceremony that his tribe is known for maintaining peace in the Upper Mendi area, and he believes in education for youth, Christian faith, business activities, and respect for the rule of law. Yangan said following the clash, he had ordered his tribesmen not to retaliate but run away from the fighting, which is why the fighting never continued. Yangan signed agreement on behalf of his tribe. Thank you. Representing Tungujub tribe, Lucas Martin also expressed similar sentiments and urged the leaders and the mediation teams to push for the ceasefire. Mr. Martin said his tribe do not want fight to continue, but they want peace in communities where people can enjoy living peacefully amongst each other.
So brothers, the all leaders of police, army, or Lotu line, tries me play immediate. Me no got plan to talk, but me really appreciate them this plan because me like sinadisi, belly must stop, community must stop alright, good leadership must stop, organization must alright, like you must stop. So people of this land peace must come.
Southern Islands Peace and Restoration Committee Chairman Philip Moya said it was first of its kind where communities respect each other and what the two tribes have achieved can be replicated in other parts of Mendi Muniu where there is conflict.
Understanding the peace in Ceylon, Tubla, one peace in Longan, is a very, very important road where now you meet on Mendi in the Southern Islands by Biani. All community taking ownership. And one plan nukla something where Inesa come up Longan. And Mimi come up, that's a very, very good initiative where communities will respect each other. Because time maybe come up time, Tubla one piece in, ni talk also, Kurulke, Solwall, ni giving you key.
Mr. Moya thanked Mendi Muniu MP Raphael Tonpi, Southern Islands Governor William Powie, and the provincial administration for their support in restoring peace in Mendi Valley. Pakatambua, National EMTV News.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Monday, the 17th of March, 2025. From all of us here, pleasant viewing and good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.